And plus, I would give him feedback on, say, I don't understand why this character did this on this page. And he said, well, it should just be help improve that, that collaborative product. But, he's really the creator, the writer, the artist, and, I'm the facilitator.
Now, that strikes me as a very, very nice man. Very kind, very serious about his work, very good as a, there's certain people I see, certain guys I see, I don't understand how this guy can get a woman. I don't understand, think that a bad. I think he's a catch, as they used to say. Do you fight about content? Have you ever had a real argument about a story where you said this doesn't make any sense, and you said, damn it, it does. You know what I'm talking about?
Sometimes there will be words that, to me, I think are very New York things that other people won't get. And he'll say, I'm leaving that in because people who get it will get it. And I said, okay, I just brought it up, but we don't really have.
He has final say on that.
Yeah.
You have final say on the publishing and the things?
He's like 90% of cartoonists, he has no business sense whatsoever. So, and I'm marginally better, so I can handle that aspect. So.
Okay. Now, do you feel, here's a silly question here maybe, but do you feel like that Supernatural Law is a Bat and Lash production, or is it a Bat and Lash Estrada production, or do you care about such distinctions?
I don't care. I think it's all his, and I'm happy. Every once in a while, I'll come up with a pun, and I can always think, that was mine. The one thing that I did that is currently out of print is we did something called Supernatural Law Companion, and I put that whole thing together, which was a print-on-demand book that had the origins of the series, for each and every issue, not only a just synopsis, but that uses a lot of different things from pop culture and works them in, so it's kind of this character is based on, such and such, or the name of this character comes from the guy in the background in Bride of Frankenstein. He got his stuff from all different places. He just didn't, he needed a name for something. It wasn't, oh, I'll just call him George. It was like, okay, let me look at the actors that were in this movie, the names that they played in the movie, and I'm going to do something with those. And so there will be a reason. There's reasons for street names, there's reasons for name, and then he also, if there was somebody he was really mad at, they became villain. So there are people in there that took out his anger just by making them not so wonderful character in the book. But it's that project was a lot of fun for me to do, and he appreciated it so much that I did.
How many stories has he done about these characters?
Well, he did the script from '79 to the early '90s, and that was weekly. Then of the comic book, there were 45 issues, plus 5 issues of Mavis, plus a couple of one-shots. We've done, did script online for 5 years. So some of those were reprints of earlier things, and some of them were new stories. And then he also used to have one-page strips in various publications. He had them in gaming magazines. So there's stuff.
There's a pretty vast body of work here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Things like in Satan 6, he did a story in the back that Steve Ditko inked, which was the culmination of his career as far as I'm concerned. So they've done all over.
If somebody here had never been exposed to spoken word, and they said, where shall I start? What book do I buy? The book where you say, like, here, if you don't like this, you don't bother looking at another one. This is as introductory and good as it gets.
Well,
what would you recommend it?
The thing to know is that almost all of the stories are standalone, so they have beginning, middle, and end, so you don't
somebody read that and didn't like it, they shouldn't bother with it.
Right.
But they would like that probably, because that's one of the best. That's not just a record, it's good material.
Yeah.
All right.
And you can also go to exhibitapress.com, and we have, I think there's a couple of stories there that you can actually just read right there on the front page.
Okay. Now, I want to give you some time for some questions from the floor here. We got more time here. Let's talk about the award show, the Eisner Award. Now, you don't just administer the awards, who wins and ballots, things like that. You produce the event, the convention, which is quite a lot of work, a lot of energy goes into that. How long have you been, okay, what year did you start doing the Eisner Awards?
1990.
And were you at that point, talk me through here now. The award ceremony was the Inkpot Awards.
Yes.
And then the Eisner Awards snuck into the Inkpot ceremony,
Well,
eventually squeezed the Inkpots out of the room.
You have to remember that there was something called Jack Kirby Awards in the mid-'80s, and they were actually started by Fantagraphics, and one of their employees, Dave Ulbrich, was the administrator. So even the first Kirby Awards were at Comic-Con, but they were a daytime program. And Dave Ulbrich, after a couple of years, left Fantagraphics to pursue other things, and he thought he should be able to take the Kirby Awards with him because he'd been the one running them. And Fantagraphics said, no, those are ours. You can't take them anywhere. What finally resulted is that there's no more Kirby Awards. Fantagraphics talked to Harvey Kurtzman, started Harvey Awards, and Dave Ulbrich went to Will Eisner and said, how about doing an awards program in your name? And set up a nonprofit and everything, and had a board of advisors. And so he ran it for a couple of years, and it was a program in the middle of the day at Comic-Con that these were given out.
I got an Eisner Award one year, I didn't know it. Nobody had told me I was nominated. Nobody had told me that it was the ceremony. And Sergio told me like 3 weeks after the convention. He says, where do you put your certificate? And I went, what certificate? For the Eisner Award we won. I went, I didn't know we won. I didn't know anything about this. To this day I have that one mystery Eisner Award in my life.
Well, in 1990, there were no Eisner Awards because Dave Ulbrich sent out the nominating ballots, which were done the same way they were doing the Harveys and the Eisners, the exact same way, which is everybody who was a professional in comics could nominate stuff in these various categories. So that you would just get a ballot and it would say, you know, best continuing series, and it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it would be blank. And you're supposed to fill in 5 things. And do that with all the categories and send it in, and then they would compile what would be the nominees that everybody would vote on. Well, somebody said to Dave, you know, we can't remember what came out last year. It'd be really helpful if you gave us a list of everything that was eligible. So he thought he had compiled a complete list. So when he sent out the nominating ballot, he had this list with it to help people decide, you know, oh, that came out, I'm going to nominate that. Well, all these complaints came in. You left out this, you left out that, you left that. So Dave just said, you know, it's too late to do anything different, so just not going to do it this year. Plus, I'm so busy with other things. So at the 1990 Comic-Con, Dennis Kitchen and Will and Dave Ulbrich asked for a meeting with Faye Desmond and me to talk about the awards. And they said, look, Comic-Con is a nonprofit. The Eisner Awards to continue would be great if they could come under the San Diego umbrella. And Will would really like if Jackie would be the one to be the administrator because he's worked with her and everything, and he thinks she'd be like the right person for that. So Comic-Con did indeed obviously take on the Eisners, and I became the administrator. And then for 2 years, I think, I did that same method with the fill in the blank, and then having seen how a lot of awards programs are done in the arts, and seeing that there's juries and judges and things, I went to Dennis and I said, what do you think, Dennis, about doing some kind of judging thing with the Eisners instead of having first judges meet and decide on the nominees, and then professionals vote on the winners.
Now, without naming any names, or you can if you want to, but I'm not requiring for these questions. How often do you look at the winner and list, the guys and the worst, and go, I gave an award to that? How often do you think that how good do you think the picks are?
To me, it's not who wins that counts, it's what's nominated, because I think one of the goals of the judges every year, and Chris, who was one, and will bear that, is to draw attention to the best work being done in the industry. So if there's, 5 things that are graphic novels, and 5 things that are manga, and 5 things that are kids' books or whatever, that's a shopping list. That you take out to the dealer's room and say, for the judges to put this on here, it's got to be pretty darn good. And the winners are going to be things that most people have read. So if you haven't read or have access to, number 4 and number 5 on the list, it's not going to get that many votes, even if it, you think it's the best thing ever done. If people haven't seen it, they can't vote for it. So to me, the winners are going to be the ones that, amongst the ones that are everybody's most familiar with. If Neil Gaiman's on the ballot, Neil's probably going to win. So it's, to me, the nominations are just the goal. And being able to go to the awards, and on the screen you see the nominated works, you see the pages, you see the covers, you can go, oh, that looks really interesting.
Yeah, but when I look at the award nominations every year, and I go, hey, they left that out. How often do you look at that list and go, hey, they left that out?
During the judging, I'll have favorites that the judges don't put on the ballot, and I have no say in it, other than to say, don't forget to consider this. If anybody here hasn't read this yet, be sure to read that one, because it's on some best of the year list that some other people did, it's not just me, and I really liked it. But other than that, I don't have an agenda myself, and I'm sometimes shocked if certain things don't get on. But then I understand. I hear the discussion they have about things that may have been critically acclaimed and don't get on the ballot, and I'll know the reasons that the judges didn't think that was as good as the other 5 things they did.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about the problems of just producing the show. Forget the awards from it. In fact, you've got to fill it. How long was it this year? It was 2
We got it down to the shortest ever. It was 2 hours and 23 minutes.
What's the longest ever?
3 hours. I think when we had the Inkpots and Eisners combined, we got to like 3 hours and 50 minutes. I mean, it was, we started at 7:30 and did it at 11:45 or close to midnight.
Okay, tell us a little about the problems of doing that. What's the biggest headache? Getting the presenters, getting the deal with the hall. What is it?
Well, once you've got a venue that you've worked with for several years, you know the people, there's certain things that are basic routine that you don't have to worry about. But the biggest headache is the VIP section, because you want VIP seating for the nominated people or for people representing them. Publishers that have things nominated want to make sure that they're coming, and you ask the publisher for a list of names. Oh, we'll get you those names. And 6 o'clock on Friday night, somebody emails me a list of names. Am I someplace where I can get email at 6 o'clock on Friday night before the awards? I go home, the next morning with my email, and there's a message from the last night. Here's the people who are going to be in our VIP seating. And so it's juggling, trying to fit and seat people for 400 people in a VIP section, and find out if they're actually going to come, or if somebody's going to represent them, or if they're coming but they got 5 people with them, and I've saved 2 seats. So that is the most time-consuming thing for me, because now in the last 2 years we have had a producer and a stage manager who are from LA, who are familiar with doing award shows, and I don't have to worry about that part anymore, where they handle all of the things like staging and rehearsing and getting people to know how fast they got to get on stage and how fast they got to get off. And doing that is what really cut the time down, because they sat down with a stopwatch 2 years ago every single thing. And we came up with things like just curve the table so people can get faster to the stage. And every presenter has to be right at the next to the stage as soon as their name is said, so you don't have to wait until they get up to the stage. So, you know, there are places that we can take time out in order to, that nobody would notice that we shorten the ceremony. And we don't have an MC anymore. This was a new thing. We used to have, Bill Morrison was a fantastic MC, but when you have somebody that comes out and he introduces somebody else and then they come on and you know, all that, it's a very time consuming thing. So now we have what they call Voice of God that just says, and our next presenters are blah, blah, blah. So that saves some time. And, you know, and part of it is celebrity wrangling. When I have a whole staff, now their whole job is to make sure George R. R. Martin gets from the Game of Thrones party over in time to be in the green room to go on stage and, you know, that type of thing. So, you know, you need help, you need to be able to delegate and just make sure you got people that really knows to do that stuff.
Do you have problems with the crew there, the technical crew, the hotel crew?
No, we used to have the convention center. The convention center could care less about us. The staff there, you meet with them, you talk about all the setup you want, you go there on Friday night. Oh, that guy doesn't work on Fridays. We've got so-and-so here now in charge. I've never met so-and-so. I don't know so-and-so. Well, he's the guy in charge. Well, excuse me, but you put a bar that's supposed to be right outside the door down next to an elevator in the other part of the building, and no one's going to know that that's there. Well, the night guy told us to put it there, and, you know, they just could care less. The hotel we are now, we like Comic-Con, what do you want? Do you need anything? We were like, tell us. Yeah, they just are falling all over themselves to be accommodating as possible, and they've been great.
I did the Ray Bradbury tribute in the same room as last year. I had the opposite experience. Awesome.
Eddie, are you listening to me?
Anyway, do you have any questions for this woman? Yes, sir.
You've done some very fine work. Have you ever thought about turning some of them into animation?
As far as
Wolf and Bird?
the Wolf and Bird is concerned, he's thought about it. He's got animator friends that have thought about it, but not at this point.
Anyway, I must be able to go see another panel. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, Jackie, in the earlier panel you mentioned like your reaction when you first went to your first Comic-Con. You saw like a number of handicapped people there. What about women? I've only been attending Comic-Con since the late 80s. And in this little time, I've seen there wasn't growth of women attendees. Was there a year where you could say that was a tipping point? You know, when it reached instead of 20%, 30%?
I think you have to realize that in '76 was the first time there was a Star Wars presentation at Comic-Con. Well in advance of the movie coming out, but George Lucas knew that going where fans are to promote it this would be a way for people to hear about this movie with these stormtrooper things going around. So from that year on, Star Wars was a big part of Comic-Con, and each year, I mean, how many Star Wars fans are females? I mean, you know, that brought a lot of, they always showed whatever the movie was out, plus the previous movies. So they made a big thing about having a presence in San Diego, and those were the longest lines in the mid-70s, was lines around the block to see the Star Wars things, and I think that brought a lot of women to the show. And but you know, there were a lot of sure, you know, girlfriends and moms and stuff like that. There were a lot of female fans too. And then when you got into the 80s and 90s anime, that really brought a lot of females into the show, the younger ones.
I thought it was like Buffy, you know, like the year before and the year after. Yeah, 2 years after that. 2 years after that. But it was Hollywood and Star Wars that started bringing women to Comic-Con.
I think that having Star Wars there, it became like not just a comics thing in people's minds, even though it had science fiction, fantasy, film, everything before that. It became more acceptable
that sometimes guys at conventions go way too overboard to treat women like, you know, overcompensate. You know what I'm going to ask in here? It's like too hard to be solicitous, and they try too hard to make, oh look, we've got to be nice to the women who are here, and we've got to be respectful to the women. I feel sometimes like there's too much of that sometimes.
And you know, I was president of Friends of Lulu for 5 years, which was the organization to promote getting more women creating comics and reading comics. And that was started in 1995, I think, by Heidi McDonald. And throughout the 90s, we really saw a lot more women being involved in the comics industry, not necessarily in the mainstream, you know, superhero, but, you know, at that time there was all self-publishing and everything like that. We had, you know, lots and lots of increase of creator females coming into the industry and being promoted. So, you know, I think I never experienced, you know, what Mark's done.
Sure.
Jackie, would you like to discuss how the Eisners benefit blood drive?
Well, we do take all of the material that's sent in for the Eisner Awards that isn't nominated, gets donated to the Rarity Mammon Blood Drive to be given to donors as premiums.
George.
Hi. First of all, I want to congratulate the con on recognizing several comic book dealers who have contributed immensely to the growth of comics. And one is Bill Leibowitz, who was here in LA, and he was a PR genius when I first saw it. I could talk hours about it. And the other one is Mimi Cruz, who runs a comic book store in a library and contributes immensely with her interest in
Mimi was on the board of directors of Friends of Lulu, and she is one of my assistants for running the Eisner Awards. So Mimi is everywhere.
I have a follow-up question. When did Sheryl Dorff start turning off the comic, or was it a gradual thing, or was it a sudden?
George, we have 2 minutes left here, and that is a 5-hour conversation.
The fast answer is up and down, and then finally out. And it was a very sad, frustrating experience for an awful lot of people. And someday the whole story will be told, and we won't within 5 hours. We have time for one more question, so we have one more question. But yes.
Question. So Jackie, you were with Comic-Con from the beginning, and now it's ballooned up to be more like a Hollywood con. So much so that you guys have gone backwards and made the San Diego Comic Fest, which is now geared more towards, again, comic book people.
Well, just remember, it's a totally separate event from totally separate people. It's, you know,
But I think it's
Comic-Con International is not involved in this in any way.
I understand. But isn't this a way for, especially you and people that were the original Comic-Con founders, to try to get back to the roots? And
You know, to me, it's
the
just memory lane, because every show has its pros and cons. And, you know, I love Comic-Con because it is about 10 different conventions all at once.
Yes.
So you can go and you can be there as a, you know, anime fan, Star Wars fan, alt comics fan, graphic novel fan, academic, interested in comic studies, whatever your thing is, and you can find things to do all day, every day for 4 days in any of those interests. And, you know, hopefully you also interact and see the other kinds of things in the show as well. This kind of thing for me is to just, you know, I'm not here obviously to buy comics and go through the back issue bins, but I'm just having fun going down, talking about what it was like to be here in the 70s and the 80s. And, you know, you're never going to have, again, a situation where you've got a Ray Bradbury and a Jack Kirby and a Theodore Sturgeon and a Robert Heinlein, all these people that you're just going to hang out with for 3 or 4 days. That's just not going to happen. So we can celebrate that we did have that.
Thank you for a great last question. Thank you, Jackie Estrada.
questions. That's why I had to be polite.